G'day. I'm going to be talking at the moment on a news piece that came up just a couple of days ago, and that was a naked man was found wandering in the woods of southern Germany, and turned out he was a monk who had reportedly eaten berries and had gotten lost and very confused as a result. The news report was very sparse on details, but I did ask a German botanist about plants in that region, about trees and plants and berries. We came to this conclusion that it must have been deadly nightshade that he ate. Now, deadly nightshade is called Tollkirschen in German. Tollkirschen is a combination of two words, Toll and Kirschen, basically meaning cherries or berries, the Kirschen part, and Toll means mad. For example, the German word for rabies is Tollwut, which means mad anger, roughly speaking. So, back to the naked monk wandering around the woods. There are various different plants which can be quite hallucinogenic. But he did not talk about eating any of the mushrooms, and he wasn't quite ill, that badly ill, if he had been eating German hallucinogenic mushrooms, of which the most famous one is the deadly nightcap. There are others, but none of them are worth experimenting with. They're not much fun. They're extremely dangerous. Best to avoid them. And as for berries, actual berries, there is only really the deadly nightshade, really, which will induce such hallucinogens without hallucinogenic episodes, without actually killing you immediately. Deadly nightshade is a plant in the Atropa family, and it has 3 different chemicals in it. Atropine, hyoscine, which is also called scopolamine. You might know that as the truth drug, so called. And hyoscyamine, my apologies. So, now all of these 3, atropine, hyoscine, hyoscyamine, can cause various peculiar things to happen to your mind, badly. They can all cause hallucinations. But most likely atropine was to blame. It's the one most present, and it is a rough chemical. The medical catchphrase for this is blind as a bat, mad as a hatter, dry as a bone, hot as a hare, which talks about the various symptoms. Because your eyes get affected, they go blurry, so the person looks almost a bit blind the way they act. Their body temperature increases, I'll get onto that in a moment, so they feel quite hot. And by hot as a hare, that's meant as the rabbit-like animal, not like your hair on the head, obviously, but as the hair, the one which looks like a rabbit. You get dry as a bone because atropine will dry up the saliva, the tears and whatnot. And you can be as mad as a hatter from the atropine. Now, atropine has a very long history of use in medicine because it also functions very well for various bodily illnesses. It helps a little bit in painkilling. The ancient Romans used atropine quite extensively with their army medicine. The Roman army medicine was pretty damned good for its day. and it's still used today as medicine. In fact, I have here, I'll just show you, some atropine tablets, 0.5 milligrams of atropine in a tiny white pill. Whoops, there goes one tiny white pill, escaped. So I'll pick another one. You can see that perfectly okay, I think. That's 0.5 milligrams of atropine, and it's very damned useful for many different medical problems. It was also used, for example, by the US Army when they were fighting in Iraq in the Second Desert Storm War, I believe. They used atropine to carry for the soldiers because of the danger of nerve gas. They were very worried about the Iraq army under Saddam Hussein using nerve gas against them, and atropine is a direct antidote for many kinds of nerve gas poisoning. There's only one problem with all of that, and that is that in too large a doses, atropine is very, very bad for you. It will kill you. Horribly, by the way. It's not a nice death. And that is why deadly nightshade has its name. Because if you eat too many deadly nightshade berries, if you eat too many tolkirschen,